This morning, we have an incredibly rare and special opportunity. It's not every day that we get to honor a World War II hero. Highly decorated U.S. Army veteran who earned both the Silver and the Bronze Star for his extraordinary bravery and service. As a young man not much older than myself, Captain Jim Morgia answered the call of duty and fought for freedom on the front lines of Europe. He landed on the beaches of southern France shortly after the first waves at Normandy, playing a vital role in the liberation of Europe. Later, during the Battle of the Bulge, he was instrumental in saving countless lives by helping defend the small town of Beho from an imminent German attack. When he returned home from the war, Captain Morgia continued to embody the same courage and determination that defined his service. He earned a master's degree in chemical engineering from NYU and went on to spend his entire career at Sikorsky Aircraft in Stratford, contributing to the advancement of American aviation and technology. Throughout his life, Mr. Morgia has instilled in his children the values that have guided him: the importance of education, hard work, and self-reliance. He takes great pride in being a lifelong do-it-yourselfer, living healthfully, staying active, and always finding a sense of purpose in each and every day. And did I mention that Captain Jim recently celebrated his 103rd birthday? Please join me in honoring a true American hero as we share a recent interview with Captain Jim Morgia.
At just 22 years old, Captain Morgia saved over 7,000 American troops after German soldiers plotted to kill them after luring them to a small town, Beho, Belgium. At 103 years old, he is still active, crafting crosses and recounting his time in World War II.
Okay. My name's James, right? Vincent, V is V like in Vincent, Morgia, okay? Okay, and I was born in Bridgeport, okay? And of course my father used to be a crane operator for the Stanley Works. So anyway, I was always busy helping my mother. She had a store and all that, so I used to take care of all the canned goods and stuff like that and help out. And I went to University of Connecticut, and I'm trying to think of the year I went there, right after I graduated high school, which was 1940, you know. That was 1940, you know. So what happened is I graduated from Warren Harding High School, and I went to University of Connecticut, and while there I joined the ROTC. And part of the thing was they made you like a reservist, you know. So when the war happened, little I realized at that time they were trying to pick people to make the invasion into southern France, you know. That was the time they were talking about this, and somehow or other, I think I gave them the right answers and stuff like that. But somehow or other, I was not in the first wave or what have you, going into southern France. I came in on a second wave, you know. As soon as we got settled over there, the Battle of the Bulge occurred. And what happened, the Germans were so sneaky, you know, that they created the Battle of Bulge. And the Bulge area was a really rocky mountain area. There was nothing there, you know, nothing but mountains and stuff like that. And I got to the Battle of the Bulge. We occupied that area, in the Bulge area, and the Germans were manipulating. You know, they were trying to get us out of there and stuff like that. And the funny thing about this whole thing is this: of course, I was a second lieutenant and all that. I was scouring in the hills there. And someone says to me, he said, "Lieutenant, we can't win this battle." He says, we can't win this battle. He says, the Germans they know the ground, they know everything, and this is a setup we're gonna be demolishing, everybody to be killed, you know, and somehow or another, they allowed like 120 people into the town of Beho, and going into Beho and occupying Beho, they became like prisoners of the Germans. On the top of the hill, the Germans had 2 Tiger tanks. Yeah, 2 Tiger tanks. Everybody was of the impression we were doomed, you know. So what I did, I remember what my dad always said, the early bird gets the worm, you know. So at that moment, I realized I realized I had a big problem I had, and everyone said, you can't do it, we're licked, surrender to service, all that. So what I did, I walked out of the situation, and the German tanks kind of occupied the critical point to over-control the town of Beho and stuff like that. And here I was up on the hill. I was only 20 years old. What is a 20-year-old guy gonna do? What's he gonna do? Well, I'll tell you what I did. I was up there and I said, you know what? I can call my headquarters and try to get artillery on the tanks. Artillery on the tanks, you know. So that's what I did. I got my radio, I got the artillery, and the next thing you know, the artillery from our department came over and knocked the 2 German Tiger tanks out. But boom, that was a dead deal. But what I didn't realize was the Germans had maybe 100 troops on top of the hill that were armed Germans, you know, that were ready to swap the situation. And I didn't realize how bad it was, you know, because everybody said, hey, Jim, you're doomed, you know. So what happened, I got the artillery after the Germans. They were on top of the hill overlooking the tank position. So after knocking the 2 tanks out, I drove all those Germans out of the whole area. Churchill said it right. He says, the greatest battle that was ever fought on the planet Earth is the Battle of the Bulge. That's what Churchill said. You know what? He was right. It was a plotted, planned thing on the part of Germans to trap us into the place, and they could have had us trapped. If I had knocked out the 2 Tiger tanks and got rid of all the German artillery, we'd have been licked. When I came back, that someone that had the store went out of business, so to speak, and my mother bought the store, and I came to like the chief helper in the store, you know, put the cans on the shelf and do that, and I invented I invented the submarine sandwich, you know. Yeah, what happened? Everybody, truck drivers, used to come into the store for the Bridgeport brass, and he used to get I said, what are you going to have? And I used to cut the bologna and cut all the ham and put it into the sandwich. And in those days, we had these long little Italian breads with the knobs at the end, you know. And I used to call them Mamma Mia. I used to call them Mamma Mia, you know. And I said that, but guess what? Just 2 blocks away, there was someone else that made sandwiches too. 2 blocks away on East Main Street in Bridgeport. That was about 2 blocks away from me. So they didn't call their sandwich Mamma Mia. They call them Subways. I think the Subway people started the Subway sandwich like a few weeks after I did, you know, and they were 2 or 3 blocks away. They saw my Subway, and guess what they call it? Subway, you know? It looked like a submarine, you know? And since then, Subway's been famous throughout the whole world, you know? And I think it's so famous, you know? But in reality, I was the first one to make Subways, you know? But what I like to do nowadays is I like to sing, you know? So what I do is I go to the VFW, and they have singing over there. I went to somebody about singing, and they used to train opera singers, you know. And they says, hey, Jim, if you're going to sing, you got to sing from your stomach. You don't sing from up here, you sing from over there. That's the only way you're going to sing. Because all these opera singers, they're excellent. It comes from here. If you don't sing for your stomach, forget about it, you know. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her from the light from above, from the mountain to the prairie to the ocean. White wind fall. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Well, I would say it can't get any better than that. So sweet, so fun. However, it can. Captain Jim, and his family are here. Captain Jim is going to come up, and he is wearing his service uniform from World War II. I'm going to invite his daughter, Rena, to come on up first and say a word or two, and then we're going to have Captain Jim up for a minute. Rena, come on up.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm like so overwhelmed with gratitude. Just looking out at all of you, and I can't believe you're all here, and my dad can be here, more importantly. Anyway, good morning. Actually, this is Alessandro and Hazel are a tough act to follow, actually. So, bear with me. Good morning. On behalf of Captain Jim and our family, we would like to thank the entire Christian Heritage community and friends for honoring our 103-year-old dad today. He has been a true inspiration for all of us, and he has instilled in his children the importance of education, hard work, and just being self-sufficient. He lives his life every day with a purpose. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to share our dad with all of you today. He is truly honored, grateful, and humbled to be representing his fellow veterans. So, as you know from the video, one of Dad's passions is singing, which he does on a daily basis. So with that said, I would like to invite Dad up here to sing the national anthem, even though it's been sung already, but I know he'd like to do a solo for you. So we'll get Dad up here, and thank you all so much from the bottom of our hearts.
I can't believe that I'm getting such a wonderful reception here. And as I look at your faces all here, I see a lot of beautiful people out there that have the same purpose in doing things for their country. And that's the main thing. This is our country, and we have to sometimes defend it, or we have to take care of the problem or something like that. But the main thing is this: we have to keep our country together, and we all have to be in a together mode and take care of each other. Because if it wasn't for your friends and for you helping someone else, there'd be a lot of lonely people around here. But as I look at this audience right here, I don't see any lonely people here. I don't see anybody with a big frown on their face. I see a lot of happy people here, and knowing that here I, thank you. I wanted you to know that I hope you know that I'm 103 years old. I'm just 103 years old, that's all. And I'm still doing different things like hobbies and helping people and being nice to everybody, because this is what makes the world go around. Everybody is related to one another. So in the fact that everybody in this room or any place that you know of anybody, they all should be related in some place and be proper and nice to everybody and friendly.
Okay, you're going to sing the national anthem.
Do what?
Tell them you're going to sing the national anthem.
National anthem? Huh? And because you look like such a bright people right here, I feel so happy. It makes me want to sing, and that's one of my pleasures, singing. And I'm going to sing the national anthem right now. Here we go. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail as the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright star through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, and the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you very much. I appreciate your attention over here, and I'm giving you my little attention. I just want you to know that this suit that I got out here is 80 years old, and guess what? The important thing is it still fits me. Think about it. It's 80 years old, and I had this suit on for 80 years, and it still fits. And something must keep me in fit condition. Thank you.
Amen.